And I talked with Timothy before the race as well, and he mentioned that in qualifying he was very loose. He said it was extremely loose in qualifying, but he thought that the track would gain grip because of the sun going away, obviously, and it cooling off a bit. But at the same time, it doesn't sound like he's got the rear grip that he needs right now.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting. You heard his crew chief saying, burn some fuel off. That'll tighten it up. That puts more nose weight in the truck. That should make the thing not be quite as loose. And historically, the further you go at a place like Texas where there's a lot of tire wear, you seem to get a little bit tighter and tighter anyway. So those things should play into his hands, but we haven't seen any sign of it so far.
As we ride along with Ty Dillon, Ty right now up to the 8th position, gained 1 spot from where he started. These trucks have slowed down over a second of what they ran early on this run, and that's with only 20 laps now complete.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's going to be fun about this race when the caution flies after they run 10 laps. What are we going to do now? I want tires really bad. I'm sorry, bud, you don't have any more. And that's how critical tires are. And tire management and conservation could play as a factor when this thing winds down.
147 lap race. We've completed 22 laps. We just crossed the start-finish line. We're on lap 22, completed 21. Again, out front, Nelson Piquet Jr. has a 2-second lead over his teammate, James Buescher. Kyle Busch running some of the fastest lap times, along with Nelson Piquet Jr. running in the 3rd spot. Joey Coulter's 4th, Parker Kligerman 5th.
You know, and there's a young man, James Buescher. He just wants this thing to be the most benign race in the history of the sport. Just have the cautions fly right when I need tires. Let's just run along here. Got a safe ride here in 2nd place. But they don't usually turn out that way.
No, they don't. They don't. He knows that his teammate right now has a little better truck. They need to work on it. Michael Shelton and his guys will work on that truck, try to tune it up a little bit, and see if he can run with that 30 truck.
Nelson Piquet Jr. has been fast. He was fastest in practice yesterday. Was able to win the pole, and now out in front and dominating. Texas Motor Speedway has over a 2-second lead over James Buescher. In the show where anything goes and normally does. Get to know the drivers like never before on NASCAR Trackside tomorrow. That's 2 Eastern, only on Speed.
Trackside's a fun show. You get to see a lot of personality of the drivers. I like that show.
A lot of personality.
There's no telling what they're going to do on Trackside.
WinStar World Casino 350 presented by Pep Boys continues from Texas Motor Speedway. We have been green since the drop of the original green flag. 29 laps complete. We're on lap 30. And Kyle Busch has taken that 2nd spot away from James Buescher. So now it's Nelson Piquet Jr., Kyle Busch, and James Buescher in 3rd, right?
And you know what, Rick? Most of the trucks I'm listening to down here talking about a very loose condition, but that's not the case for James Buescher. He said he's tight in the middle, and he's really searching around for grip. So he's asked his crew chief, Michael Shelton, to watch his line on the racetrack and give him some times of the laps he's running. He said, I'm not really sure where the fast laps are right now, but he has dropped from 2nd back to 3rd. And Hermie, we've got a good battle on the racetrack between the 32 and the 3.
You're right, Ray. It took Ty Dillon about 15 laps to work his way around Miguel Paludo with the 32, and 29's in the wall, guys. 29.
Ryan Blaney in the 29 into the wall, and that brings out our first caution. A lot of damage to the right side of that truck.
Hard into the wall. We haven't heard anything about tire wear, but that has the look
right front tire, blue guys.
Classic right front tire failure. And you heard Ryan Blaney report that from his truck. Lost the right front tire, and that truck went hard into the wall.
Yeah, Ryan was running in the 16th spot. That's after only 31 laps plus qualifying. So more than likely probably ran over something.
More than likely. We love these tires that Goodyear provided the guys here in Texas. They're everything we would want for a great race. So hadn't heard anything about wearing a tire out. So you just wonder.
He's way up high, running that high groove.
He's really up there where nobody has gone, I would think. So
that's not what caused it.
Yeah, he hasn't even hit the wall yet.
Oh, it's must have happened on the straightaway.
Yeah,
coming out of 4 on the quad over there.
But again, he's been up higher than probably anybody that we've seen, so maybe he picked up a little bit of debris up there.
And plus, they'll wear more if you run up there out of the groove where everybody else is as well. So it'll be interesting to see what the crews figure. They coming to pit road, Phil?
They got to come. They got to come.
I'm pretty sure you guys said what happens if the caution comes out in about 10 laps. That was on lap 21. Well, it's lap 31. So
we're gonna
find out
early and often, I think.
And we head down to pit road and Hermie 7.
Eric Almirola is bringing the number 5 truck to pit road. Richie Waters Motorsports, they are loose. He's been loose, and the truck has not been coming to him. They're going to put 4 scuffed Goodyear Eagles Wranglers on this truck. Sunoco Fuel trying to tighten him up with an air pressure adjustment. Ray?
It's a bit of a quandary of what to do for James Busher. He is tight in the middle, but still a little bit loose on entry. They'll go to air pressure on the right side tires. They're going to hang 4 Goodyears on here. Pack it full of Sunoco Fuel. You see the number 30 is on the very front, number 1 pit stall. And on the top of your screen, you see Kyle Busch. They are going with 4 tires there. Kyle is a 4 tight, has a little lack of grip. And it looks like Nelson Piquet will come in as the leader and leave that way.
7 spots lost by the 18 team, and that was because Kyle Busch slid through his pit box. Take a look. When he's coming in, he's got to have that front end inside the pit box, and he slides it through.
And that just goes to show you guys, he slid through the pit. The tires are wore, but that's how hard every one of these drivers try every second of a race. He come to pit road, he just gave it a little bit of gas to try to get all the speed he could get and the fastest pit stop, and it wound up costing him mightily.
Right through. You see he's got to back it up. He does. That takes a little extra time. Two by two, they're lined up. WinStar World Casino 350 presented by Pep Boys about to restart. It will be lap number 35 that they will be completing. We'll be on to lap 36 of the 147 laps. And does this fall into pit strategy now?
I think everything falls into pit strategy because of the tire wear and how much these things fall off. Everybody's really going to have to be on their game to make sure they get tires on the trucks for that sprint to the end.
There's enough laps left. I don't think they can make it on one more stop.
No,
side by side, Piquet Jr., Busher, green flag back in the air. We're back underway in Texas.
Keep an eye on Joey Coulter. He pulls down to the inside to make it 3 wide.
3 wide going into turn number 1. That pushes the 30 of Nelson Piquet Jr. all the way up the racetrack. Battle for the lead as they come at it too.
Piquet had to leave room for Busher in the middle. He had to move all the way to the top of the racetrack. Are they going to make it 4 wide?
3 and 4 wide as they go into turn 3.
Yes,
all the
they
way
are,
down at
Bill.
the bottom of the track, the 88 of Matt Crafton had to check up a little bit, as did Joey Coulter in that 22. He's dropped all the way back to 6th already.
And he was sniffing the lead when they went into turn 1, and now he finds himself in the middle of a battle for the 6th spot. Eric Almirola around the outside of Matt Crafton. And look, there's Ty Dillon. He's trying to join that battle for the lead.
Very important lap here for James Busher. He was out front, led that lap. He gets a bonus point now. 1 step closer to that championship.
And bonus points have been very big for James Busher this year.
And 1.5 tracks have been very big for that young man as well. He has really dominated these tracks.
Now that his crew has been able to adjust on that 31, getting back out onto the racetrack, he's in front of his teammate Nelson Piquet Jr. Parker Kligerman running in the 3rd spot. Ty Dillon, closest competitor in the championship, is 4th, and Matt Crafton 5th.
4 of our top 5 ran their fastest lap of the race this last lap.
I just really like the way this 7 truck looks, guys. He can duck that thing really low, exiting the corner. I think it's driving exactly like he wants it to. You can see he's running in the 3rd spot there, but as they wind laps off, put laps on these tires, he seems to be able to maintain his speed a little bit better than the rest.
Great pit work by Ty Dillon's bunch. He gained 4 spots.
Look at this. We're going to go 4 wide at Texas. And it looks like Matt Crafton thought he had room, but wasn't sure. So he just laid back a little bit. But we saw the 22 truck of Joey Coulter going for the lead into turn 1. And then he found himself in a 4-wide mess going into turn 3.
And now back to 9th.
Yeah, Joey Coulter's 9th right now, after, as you mentioned, going for the lead going into 1. Nose to tail now, 1st through 4th.
Ty Dillon beginning to really look around on this racetrack. We've seen him make a couple of solid runs off the corner by using that higher line. Kligerman seems to be content about anywhere he wants to go. We saw him really low the lap before last, that time in the middle of the track down in 3 and 4.
Kyle Busch has been charging toward the front after the mistake on pit road. He's back up to the 5th spot now, reeling in that 3 of Ty Dillon.
And he was the 3rd fastest truck on the racetrack while he was passing Matt Crafton.
Yeah, we heard Eric Phillips calling for adjustments on that 18 truck. So Kyle had reported what was wrong with it. The team was going to address those changes. Had a bit of a delay there as Kyle slid through the pit, but you know, with Kyle Busch driving your truck, reporting to you what the truck needs, those adjustments are going to be spot on, and he's going to get better and better all night long.
Herman Quiroga in the 51 on the inside of that 81 of David Starr. They're on teammates to Kyle Busch tonight.
Max Gresham in the 8 truck on the outside, red, white, and blue.
Herman had a solid run at Talladega. Raced clean all day long, wound up in the top 10 finish.
Sure did.
Great result for that young man, making his way around David Starr. Looks like he's not quite going to be able to make that pass, but strong down on the bottom.
Still good in NASCAR Mexico, 3-time champion of that series.
David Starr has been able to clear the 51 of Herman Quiroga and battle for the second spot. Nelson Piquet Jr. now has Parker Kligerman, as you guys talked.